Good day, everybody! It is Calxiyn and Hunter here, and today we are going to be talking about Alyx, the girl who fell through the world. We think we are 90% sure. And so, a lot of people have been saying that this is trivia, and I would like to tell you to stop. And so, like,
do you
listen,
ever, but do you ever,
we
like,
don't know.
yeah.
We don't know 100% sure, but I'm like 99% sure that this is the girl who fell through the world.
Yeah.
It is Alyx, whose name we get in Roman Holiday. It is not trivia. I don't understand why people don't realize how highly problematic it would be if Alyx was Trivia's true self and then Neo was like the self that she actually chose. Just because obviously this character is black. Even if you didn't read Roman Holiday, you should know better than thinking that's a good idea, because it would basically be like, oh, well, Neo's how she wants to present herself, and for some reason, Neo is white, right? So if you look at Roman Holiday, you see like little trivia in what she looks like in the corner. And also, she still has heterochromia even as a child, right? That's not a function of like Neo. She was born with that. So unless like people really wanted to reach into like, but trivia covered her pink eye, it's not trivia. Stop. I'm sure that there's gonna be some connection between them, but like, if it is trivia, I will cut up one of my RWBY shirts and eat it on stream. Like, that is how convinced I am by the fact that they would not make this girl trivia. There may be some other connection to, you know, each other, but I don't think that that is it. But we are talking about something else today, and that's more about like Alyx and her role in the story and everything. And so some theory that we've had, a theory.
It is some theory, all right.
So some theory that we've had is that people, when they lose themselves, they become whatever their purpose is, in the sense of like the Jabberwocker. Little says, oh, I'm too young to have a purpose, so I have no name. He doesn't say it like that, but that's kind of what he's implying. The knight or the hero may be Jean, etc., right? So something that we were thinking about was this idea that every Wonderland character, or at least most of them, are not like Wonderland residences. They were humans who became something. Even like the Metal Lady and the Caterpillar, like they were people once. They transformed into these things because the island got a hold of them and they became whatever their purpose is. So that being said, there are some very interesting things about Alyx if you take a look at the OP. One of them is that she has a rabbit clip on her belt, and the other one is she obviously has those things that look like rabbit ears in her hair. So that brings me to the idea that this is actually Alyx, and their eye color, you'll notice, is actually very, very similar. So I think that if Jean is the knight, we won't actually see Alyx in terms of the human as Alyx, because Alyx has already, it's too late, she turned into the rabbit, right? And I don't know how I feel about that, because there is something definitely to say about POC characters being turned into animals for marketability. Not even markability, but just like for most of the movie or like whatever.
It's a matter of
Princess and the Frog situation.
It's a matter of marketability. Like it happens in Soul, it happens in Spies in Disguise, it happens in
Princess and the Frog. It's a little, I hope that we do see her as a person, because that would be sad. But because she does have the rabbit clip on her and the rabbit ears, I think that this is a good candidate to be Alyx.
But that's
just
also
because
not a rabbit,
of the
it's
eye
a jackalope.
Whatever, Hunter, whatever.
I like to be specific.
I don't care. It doesn't
about
matter.
my fantasy hairs.
I think that whatever. Do you think that it's different though in terms of the function of the story? Because I know there's the March Hare and the White Rabbit, and they're different. Apparently. I know what it looks like, but I think she's just a big white rabbit. Does that make sense? You know?
Oh, she's a big white rabbit.
Oh, my God.
How dare you take away her beautiful brown skin?
Well, they did that! Look at what they did! That wasn't me! Did I work on the Groovy? No, I didn't do the design. Was that me? No. But I do think it's because, like, everyone who represents the sun has a sun color scheme. Everyone who's supposed to represent the sun or something is on that side, whereas the characters that's supposed to represent, like, the moon. So, yeah, like, they're supposed to represent the moon, and there's a repetition of the aesthetics. right? They could have made this guy green if they wanted to. They could have made her silver, but she's gold, and the knight is gold, and the rabbit is also gold. So I think that they may be doing something. I don't know, like a good and evil, night and day, god of light, god of darkness. I think it's intentional. So that begs the question, and this is why I wanted to make this video of this person that we see in the portrait, because they seem to be someone else. And we did have a theory that Alyx has a sibling or a sister, because in the book they do have a sister, and the sister's a bit more like grounded to reality. Like the sister's older, and like at least in the Disney movie kind of encourages her to stop daydreaming, focus on her studies, right? So the idea is that like when they fell through the looking glass, if you want to call it that, they both fell together. And so obviously we aren't sure if it's a brother or a sister or just a friend or a companion, but Alyx's companion, let's call them that. And they were never mentioned in when Neo like brought up Alyx falling through the world. She didn't bring up the name of this other person. So, but apparently they wear glasses. That's all we have about them. But I would like to posit, if Alyx is the rabbit, even if it's not that rabbit, if she's a different rabbit, okay,
multiple rabbits,
I think that this person is the cat. And I think that that's what they turned into. Because I think that, like, it could be possible that they do this thing that everyone falls into the world, like, is put in a specific, like, they're cast in a specific role. And so while she became the light, he became the darkness or something.
Or
like,
it
that's
could be
kind
a
of
woman
the
as well.
idea.
We don't quite.
Yeah, I'm just saying he because the cat is voiced by Robbie Damon, who is Akechi in Persona 5, and so I'm assuming, but I am assuming then, like, the character is probably masculine in some way if it's voiced by Robbie Damon, I think. Because this is suspicious, right? Like, they could have put this guy anywhere, but they put him, like, they put the cat, by him I mean the cat, they put the cat, like, right on top of the mystery character.
Yes.
It could be just composition, but I think it's a little sus. To me, it's sus. And then you also have this nice sort of like contrast, right? Because you have Jean with Alyx, who was supposed to be the hero, but Jean may be like bad this volume. And then you have the cat with the girls, and the cat is like with the protagonist, but maybe evil, right? Or like, I don't know, and it could even be the reverse, where like we think all the characters that are light are good, but that's not how it works here, right?
Yes.
What could be interesting is this idea that the characters that have the, I'll call it the nighttime aesthetic because that's all I can think of right now, the moon aesthetic or our moon adjacent, they're actually like the good aligned characters. Because, I don't know if
And Little is evil, as we all secretly know.
I guess Little would be evil with the color scheme
I bet
theory.
you, well, because it's all right there.
There is this idea that there are two suns or two moons. I'm not sure, because I heard that someone said that Aaron said it was supposed to be corrected to suns in the script instead of moons, but there was a script that was released by the RWBY Twitter account that cast them as moons. So let's just call them moons for the sake of this video, right? There's a story in the fairy tale book where the moon is the only thing that illuminates Remnant, and it falls from the sky. And so people take pieces of the moon and make the sun. And there's this idea that like, oh, but they'll remember which one's the real one, right? They won't think that the moon, like the sun came first and then the moon, they'll know like the moon came from the sun, and then everyone fucking forgets, right? And so I wonder if it could sort of be a play on that. It's that everyone thinks that the Cheshire Cat and the Caterpillar are evil because our brains are supposed to associate like darkness, like the nighttime with evil, and then the sun with light and goodness, and it's actually sort of in the reverse. And so Alyx may have been someone that sort of like Jean fell to a side of evil, whereas the cat is actually good even though he seems a little sketchy. And so I think that that would be really interesting to do that sort of swap, because Jean is also cast as, you know, this character, this hero in armor.
We think, we don't know.
Right?
Well, you think.
How that correlates to this situation, I'm not really sure about, like, this man. Like, you know what I mean? Because he has a lot of different colors on him. He has all of the Team RWBY colors on him, actually. So, I don't know what's happening with that, but like we do have a theory that some people are people that fell here and some people are people that are born here. So he could be a born here character, right? Like, you know what I mean? And that's why he sort of breaks the trend of whatever, sun, moon. But you could also have this whole thing of like, you have the day, you have the night, you have the dusk, and you have the dawn. And so that would probably be dusk because it's a little darker, right? Like the color scheme. So you know, we don't know, but you could do something with that as well. And so, yeah, I think that this is true. I am very convinced at the fact that she is at least the rabbit and that he is the cat because she has that brooch on her. I think that's a big, like, sign that they have been turned into, right? And then her job, right, her purpose is to guide people through Wonderland, how she was once guided by someone else, we can assume, right?
But who was the person that guided him? Do we not know?
No, all right? Like, and so
it was little. It all comes back to
cycle,
little.
Right? Like, it's cylindrical, you know what I mean? Like, RWBY is... yeah, cyclical. RWBY is now the new Alyx, and maybe Neo is now the new glasses person.
Glasses boy. You're the new glasses boy.
Right. And so that could be it. It could be like that. And we talked about this idea that RWBY gets worse while Neo gets better. So what if that kind of happened in the same way with the cat and the rabbit? And so I think that that'll be very interesting. So I think that it's going to be revealed that the cat was a boy, and maybe he doesn't even know. Like, maybe the cat doesn't even know that he used to be. Like, they've lost their sense of self so much that they don't even remember, but it's revealed somehow. Like, imagine this happens slowly too. Like in Pinocchio, how they start turning into donkeys. Like, imagine if just one day Alyx woke up and she has rabbit ears and like she knows something is wrong, but no one can fix it. Like, she started slowly, like, you know what I mean? And like he got cat ears all of a sudden. Like, I think that would be interesting, right? And I do think that the same exact thing happened with the caterpillar and the knight as well. And the Jabberwocky's interesting because he's like an equal mixture. So what if he was actually like two people, like twins who fell down here, and they fused into one person, both the light and the darkness?
Unless you also think that they were Ozpin and Salem's children.
Right. And so that could work as well. Like, there's lots of stuff here that you could, and see, Little, I guess, is evil because Little has the golden color scheme, right?
You want to know who turned Alyx into the hare? It's Little.
But see,
you know how we know? Why? Because who makes mochi on the moon? A rabbit, right? And what's mochi? Right? A dairy product, because it has ice cream on it. What's also a dairy product? Cheese. Who likes dairy product? Little. Makes perfect sense.
Okay, there's one more thing I want to point out about this, though. A lot of people thought this metal lady was the Queen of Hearts and was the person that was causing people to discard themselves. But in the opening, they do not have big antagonist energy, I will say. Like, they're kind of put on an equal level to the caterpillar, or like on an equal level. Like, they're in the background while the raccoon's on the screen. It's a little strange because a lot of people thought that she was going to be the Queen of Hearts, but she seems pretty chill, so I feel like that there may be characters we haven't seen yet. I mean, Neo's at the bottom, so I don't know if Neo's the Queen of Hearts, but...
I wouldn't be surprised if you rolled through this thing with, like, a fine-tooth comb. You'd be able to find some kind of, like, secret
like, other secret person? I don't know, though. I've looked pretty hard, and I couldn't really find anything. But you'll notice, right, like, this guy's smoke is kind of the same color as the cat, and that's what I sort of mean by everything happens in, like, a sequence or something. Like, this is just... it happens over and over and over again, or something like that. And so I think that this is a pretty good theory. I think this is structurally sound.
Anyway.
I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you for attending Calxiyn's Royal Court, and we can see you in the next one. Bye!